Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Frankenstein, chapters 5 through 7 of Volume 3, the end of the novel. Last class, we talked about how the relationship between Victor and the creature has been changing. They are creator and his creation, but their relationship became something like that between God and Adam or God and Satan, with Victor as God and the creature as his Adam or Satan. Then it became something like a relationship between a master and a slave, with, strangely, the creature as the master and Victor as his slave. And then it became a conflict between enemies who seemed to be almost equals. And their relationship has not finished changing. In the cemetery where his father, his brother, and Elizabeth are buried, Victor vows his revenge. And I was answered through the stillness of night by a loud and fiendish laugh. It rung in my ears long and heavily. The mountains re-echoed it, and I felt as if all hell surrounded me with mockery and laughter. Surely in that moment I should have been possessed by frenzy, and have destroyed my miserable existence, but that my vow was heard, and that I was reserved for vengeance. The laughter died away, when a well-known and abhorred voice, apparently close to my ear, addressed me in an audible whisper. I am satisfied. Miserable wretch, you have determined to live, and I am satisfied. Who do you make vows to? Who is supposed to hear your vows? People frequently make vows to God. Victor makes a vow alone in a graveyard, and a voice comes out of nowhere and answers him, like the voice of God. But it's the creature. As Victor pursues the creature across continents, the creature leaves Victor signs so that Victor does not lose his trail, and also leaves Victor food. Sometimes he himself, who feared that if I lost all trace I should despair and die, often left some mark to guide me. The snows descended on my head, and I saw the print of his huge step on the white plain. To you first entering on life, to whom care is new and agony unknown, how can you understand what I have felt and still feel? Cold, want, and fatigue were the least pains which I was destined to endure. I was cursed by some devil, and carried about with me my eternal hell. Yet still a spirit of good followed and directed my steps, and when I most murmured, would suddenly extricate me from seemingly insurmountable difficulties. Sometimes, when nature, overcome by hunger, sunk under the exhaustion, a repast was prepared for me in the desert that restored and inspirited me. The creature is guiding Victor's steps, keeping Victor from falling into despair, and giving Victor the strength to stay alive, like God. One of the messages the creature leaves for Victor is, "My reign is not yet over. You live, and my power is complete. Follow me. I seek the everlasting ices of the north, where you will feel the misery of cold and frost to which I am impassive. You will find near this place, if you follow not too tardily, a dead hare. Eat and be refreshed. Come on, enemy. We have yet to wrestle for our lives, but many hard and miserable hours must you endure until that period shall arrive. My power is complete. As far as Victor is concerned, the creature is omnipotent, like God. He wants Victor to suffer many hard and miserable hours and finally meet him in the Arctic, and that is exactly what is happening to Victor. The creature once approached Victor as his God. Now Victor is being controlled by the creature as if the creature is his God. By the end of the novel, their relationship has completely reversed. What do we make of this? What are we to take away from this strange story in which the creature has become the god of his creator? What does it mean? Here we come again, finally, to the problems of language and knowledge. Victor has told most of this story. Yet listen to his final words to Walton. That the creature should live to be an instrument of mischief disturbs me. In other respects, this hour, when I momentarily expect my release, is the only happy one which I have enjoyed for several years. The forms of the beloved dead flit before me, and I hasten to their arms. Farewell, Walton. Seek happiness in tranquility and avoid ambition, even if it be only the apparently innocent one of distinguishing yourself in science and discoveries. Yet why do I say this? I have myself been blasted in these hopes, yet another may succeed. Victor expresses what would seem to anyone, I think, to be the moral of this story. Seek happiness and tranquility and avoid ambition. Then, in the next moment, he asks, why do I say this? and suggests another might succeed. Again and again in this book, we've seen the same situation. A character struggles to make someone else understand his story. But in this final moment of Victor's life, we wonder, does Victor himself understand the story he's been telling? The question is bigger than, can we or Captain Walton ever come to know Victor? The question is, can Victor, who sacrificed his life to seeking knowledge, ever come to know himself? Can Victor tell his own story to himself and understand it? Nothing becomes any clearer when the creature shows up on the ship and Walton meets him. As the creature speaks over Victor's body, Walton recounts, "I was at first touched by the expressions of his misery. Yet, when I called to mind what Frankenstein had said of his powers of eloquence and persuasion, and when I again cast my eyes on the lifeless form of my friend, indignation was rekindled within me. 'Wretch,' I said, 'it is well that you come here to whine over the desolation that you have made. You throw a torch into a pile of buildings, and when they are consumed, you sit among the ruins and lament the fall. Hypocritical fiend, if he whom you mourn still lived, still would he be the object, again would he become the prey of your accursed vengeance. It is not pity that you feel. You lament only because the victim of your malignity is withdrawn from your power.'" Victor had warned Walton that the creature is eloquent and persuasive. The creature is adept at manipulating people through language. When Walton, or we, feel sympathy for him, can we trust that sympathy? The creature has killed many people. He's told us how his experiences drove him to kill them. Should we believe him? Should we try to relate to him? Should we forgive him? The creature insists that even after having heard his story, Walton, and by implication we, readers, cannot know how much he has suffered. You, who call Frankenstein your friend, seem to have a knowledge of my crimes and his misfortunes. But in the detail which he gave you of them, he could not sum up the hours and months of misery which I endured, wasting in impotent passions. For whilst I destroyed his hopes, I did not satisfy my own desires. They were forever ardent and craving. Still I desired love and fellowship, and I was still spurned. Was there no injustice in this? Am I to be thought the only criminal when all humankind sinned against me? Why do you not hate Felix, who drove his friend from his door with contumely? Why do you not execrate the rustic who sought to destroy the savior of his child? Nay, these are virtuous and immaculate beings. I, the miserable and abandoned, am an abortion, to be spurned and kicked at and trampled on. Even now my blood boils at the recollection of this injustice." Is this another example of the creature's eloquence? Is this another attempt to inspire a sympathy he doesn't really deserve? Or is he right? Words cannot communicate how much he has suffered. We still don't understand the depths of his suffering. This novel describes people seeking knowledge and also people trying to tell their stories to others to get other people to know them. But now, listen to the creature's final words. "But soon," he cried, with sad and solemn enthusiasm, "I shall die, and what I now feel be no longer felt. Soon these burning miseries will be extinct. I shall ascend my funeral pile triumphantly and exult in the agony of the torturing flames. The light of that conflagration will fade away. My ashes will be swept into the sea by the winds. My spirit will sleep in peace, or, if it thinks, it will not surely think thus. Farewell." As we've noted, knowledge and light have been associated with each other throughout this novel. In the end, though, the creature is going to burn himself alive, letting the fire fade away and his ashes get swept into the sea. Light is going to swallow itself up. One of the reasons this novel has been popular for so long is that it asks big questions and it does not give clear or simple answers to them. Have we been enlightened by this novel in which characters seek knowledge? Have we come to know these characters who have, through storytelling, tried to cross the distance between two minds? Or are we, as in the final words of the novel, lost in darkness and distance?